Well, Aries mainly learns about love through trial and error because it's a very action-oriented sign. It's a fire sign, and it's also a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. So the cardinal signs are the initiators. Not to mention Aries is ruled by Mars, which is a very active, aggressive sign. Or planet, I mean, not sign. Um, but because Aries is ruled by Mars, it makes Aries a very active, aggressive sign. So Mars is all about sports. Ironically, meet aggression, anger. It rules the head. Aries rules the head, and Mars is also about warrior, soldiers, and passion, sex, and heat. So it's a very emotional, running the gamut, running the spectrum of emotions, sort of planet. That perfectly describes an Aries. An Aries can go through a gamut of emotions in 1 minute, in 1 second, An Aries can be angry 1 minute and, the next minute they're happy, they're laughing, it's like a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Sometimes Aries can be too much for people to handle, and it's like Aries, you know that. That can be one of the reasons why you're single. By the way, I'm a Lamarr Townsend. It's nice to meet you if you are a first-time watcher. I am a psychic, intuitive tarot reader, as well as an artist and astrologer. And I'm a Capricorn, Sun, Libra Moon, Sagittarius, Mars, and Mercury, and my Venus is in Scorpio. And I have Aries in one of my houses. I just don't know which one. But you can follow me on Instagram at Lamarr Townsend. You can like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamarr Townsend Official. You can also contact me at lamarrtownsendtarot.com for your own personal, private, confidential tarot reading. Or you can contact me at lamar.townsend@gmail.com for your own personal, private, confidential tarot reading. I love to do personal, private, confidential tarot readings. I have many different tarot decks to choose from. It really depends on the questions you ask. My readings are not free, they are $1 per minute, but it's well worth it. And I would love to do a reading for you. So contact me at lamarrtownsendtarot.com or lamar.townsend@gmail.com. Also follow me on Google Plus. You can find that by clicking my name underneath this video if you're watching it on YouTube, and it'll take you straight to my YouTube page, and the links will be up by my banner or header, whatever it's called. Also, check out my Bandcamp and follow me on SoundCloud. So, a reason why Aries would be single. Aries are very complex and very um, sometimes hard to understand and hard to handle for some people. They are very spontaneous. They're very, very action oriented. So they would much rather do things themselves. They would much rather be the one to initiate because sometimes people take too long initiating. Sometimes Aries just likes things to be done in a certain way, and they like it to be done fast. So if they encounter a person who does things in a way that is not familiar to an Aries, or does things in a way that is an Aries does not understand, and if this person is slow while doing it, like that's going to anger an Aries and make an Aries annoyed, and it's actually going to make the Aries want to take control of the situation or take control of you and be like, here, this is how you should do it, and this is how we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That can be too much to handle for some people because it's like sometimes Aries, people just want to be. People just want to be themselves. They don't want to be changed. They don't want to have to change. They don't want to have to follow your lead, or they don't want to have to follow your rules, Aries. Sometimes people just want to be. And that could be kind of hard for you to understand. It's like you let people be for a certain amount of time, and you'll let little things that they do, or little things that they do that irk you, you let them go for a certain amount of time, but after a while, like you start to really show your true colors in a relationship or in a friendship or a situation. And that control, that tendency to want to control people or control things comes out, or that tendency to get very angry, or fiery about, little things. It's like almost sometimes people don't know what will set you off. You know what I'm saying? And it's all part of it is because Aries, you keep a lot of things hidden. You keep a lot of things to yourself. And that might also be another reason why you're single. I know that might sound weird, but it's like you keep a lot of emotions or feelings to yourself rather than expressing them, because maybe they incite a feeling of a little bit of anger or resentment, or, feeling abandoned, feeling jealous, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because this situation incites some type of strong emotion in you, some type of strong feeling in you that you don't want to address because you may not be sure how you're going to react, or you may not be sure how you're going to say it when you express it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of possibly dealing with those repercussions, you hold back. You keep your feelings, your emotions in, and that's not good, Aries, because eventually those emotions are just going to bubble over and you're going to burst, one day, and then they're going to call you crazy. Oh, Aries is crazy. Aries is a hothead. Aries is this and that, and that's going to make you more mad. So Aries, I think for you it's all about nipping things in the bud when they happen and not letting things fester or linger. Because if you let things fester or linger, you're just going to get more and more angry. And then at some point, you're going to blow the F up and you may hurt some feelings, all right? And you don't want that to happen, Aries, because sometimes you can burn bridges, like hurting people's feelings unintentionally, or hurting people's feelings and not really meaning to, or like maybe meaning to in the moment, but then later being like, ooh, like I shouldn't have said that. I went too far. Like, I let the anger get the best of me. I let my anger get the best of me. So we don't want to get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Because that can be too much to handle for some people sometimes, Aries. It's all about getting control over your emotions, getting control over your reactions to people and things. And I know that can be hard for you, Aries, because you are such a spontaneous, emotional, reactive sign. But that's where your power lies as well, is in your emotional reactivity. Okay, I have an emotional reaction to this situation or this person. How am I going to productively express this emotion or get this emotion out of me? Am I going to sit down and have a face-to-face conversation with this person, an adult conversation with this person where no things are being thrown, no fists are being thrown, you know what I'm saying? No words are being thrown. It's just adult conversation, peaceful, or am I going to, uh, am I going to, um, use that anger, use that emotion that I have? Am I going to, manifest all this emotion and anger into a project I have, or my work of some, you know what I'm saying, or my music, or my art, or whatever, my kids, you know what I'm saying, like figure out a way to use that emotion that you have, that emotional reaction, to have a more productive outcome, a more peaceful outcome, more beneficial outcome. Because you blowing up, spontaneously combusting, it never works. Aries, it never works in your favor. It just never works in favor for the situation or anyone involved, Aries. So definitely get a hold of your emotions. Um, Aries, I want to also say sometimes you like tend to act before you think, Aries, and that can sometimes get you into trouble or get you into waters that may be a little hard for you to get out of, Aries. Like Aries, you're like an emotional reactive sign. So you may have feelings for someone, and it's like you Aries is always the initiator. Aries likes to initiate, because Aries just wants to get things started and done, and let's just get to the point, like, you know. So sometimes you can rush, Aries. Like you can rush too fast. You can move too fast, Aries, and that could be one reason why you're single. You just move too fast. You move in too fast. You see your prey, you see your target, and you swoop in. And sometimes you just swoop in too fast. Sometimes, Aries, you just need to kind of be more strategic, and kind of figure out a way to get to nuzzle your way into this person's life, to nuzzle your way into this person's, heart, rather than, just, bombarding them and saying, give me your heart, so I can love you, and I'll give you mine, so, you can love me, like You know, like that never works, you know, Aries. Like you can be a very dominant, you know, sign, a very dominant man or woman, you know. And once again, that can be too much for people to handle. Sometimes it's okay to like take the more like passive role or the more like submissive role, you know, Aries. Sometimes like when you're always the initiator, when you're always the aggressor, like, you know, it can be like kind of off-putting, you know. Sometimes you need to learn to like take a step back, you know, um, and see what the other person does. See if the other person moves towards you, or if the other person moves backwards, or if the person just kind of stands still, you know. Because if the person moves towards you, then y- now you have kind of an idea of where that person is. You know, it's like, okay, at least I know that they're feeling me in some way, you know what I'm saying? If that person kind of stands still when you move back, it's like, okay, like at least I know where this person stands. They're a little bit unsure, you know. Then, you know, from there you have to strategize, you know what I'm saying? You can't just move in, you know what I'm saying? You have to figure out a new strategy to get that person to get to the next level of coming towards you. But if that person moves backwards, and it's like, you probably want to let that person go, Aries. You know what I'm saying? Like, know when to let people go, Aries, as well, and not hold on, you know. Because sometimes it's just not beneficial to hold on, you know. Um, Sometimes it's best to just let go. Let them go. Because they're not right for you, and you're not right for them. And that's okay, you know? So, I'm drinking coffee, you know. Aries also tends to get bored really easily. So, Aries, you might get bored of someone before you even get to the point of being like, hey, do we want to make this official? Do we want to be committed? You know, like Aries can tend to be as dominant as you are, Aries. You know, it's funny. You can also tend to be a runner. You can also tend to run from relationships, which like is confusing for people because it's like, but you're so dominant. You were so dominant, you know, like then, and why are you running away now? You know, and then it's like when people chase you, you you get angry. You get angry when people chase you. Because you like your space, you know, you don't like to be chased. You like to be the chaser. So you being chased is like totally, it's like foreign to you. Like really makes you uncomfortable. It's like what? Like I'm uncomfortable. Like stop chasing me. You know. It's almost like you don't like to be submissive, Aries. But it's like okay to have a balance between being submissive and being dominant. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean necessarily in like a sexual way. You know, it just means like you don't always have to be so freaking dominant and aggressive, Aries. You know. Like take a note from Cancer and learn about the benefits of having sensitivity, you know, and being in tune with your emotions and like in a more emotional kind of like meditative way rather than I have this emotion and I need to get it out, you know. How do I get it out? What am I going to do to get it out? You know, what's the nearest thing around me that will help me get this emotion out of me? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, Aries, you just need to sit with that emotion and figure out why you're feeling it, you know, rather than work so hard to get it out of you, you know? Get it out of me. Get this emotion out of me. I don't want to feel it. Like, that's Aries. I work not to feel. But once again, your power lies in your emotional reaction to things, Aries, and your emotional reaction to people. Like, sometimes you just need to sit with that emotion instead of, oh, I need to do something. I need to do something. Like, no, just sit with it, Aries. If you want to cry, then cry. Like it's okay to cry. There's no need to try to, figure out why you're crying. There's no need to justify the crying. There's no need to take some action upon you crying. Just cry. Just be, Aries. Like just like I said in the beginning of the video, you need to allow other people to be sometimes. Sometimes you just need to allow your own self to be, Aries. Like just be, Aries. You don't always need to be doing something. You don't always need to be figuring out something. You don't always need to be justifying something. Just be yourself, Aries. It's okay to crawl up into a ball and cry and be a mess. Just like be. If that's who you need to be in that moment, then be that person in that moment, you know? You know? If you want to hug someone and tell them you love them, I love you, and you don't even know them, and you just want to hug them for 10 seconds or 30 seconds, just do that, For some of you, that may be weird, but for some of you, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe sometimes you do feel the need to, hug someone or, like give someone, like a word of encouragement or something, like just be that person, don't justify it, just be, you know, and don't say I need to do more. No, just be, Aries. Like don't just be, all right? Sometimes there's nothing more you can do than to just be, all right? So I really hope you understand that. Sorry, my Keurig was like open. Well, that I think that F the lighting up. Whoops. Um, Whatever. Mm. I mean, Aries, just because you're single now doesn't mean you'll be single forever. Doesn't mean you'll be single a year from now, 10 weeks from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now, 10 days from now. Life is magical. Anything is possible, Aries. Sometimes you just have to let the magic of life happen, Aries. You can't always control life. Oh, the lighting went back to normal, it looks like. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Um, Whatever. Sometimes Aries, you just have to let life unfold the way it's supposed to unfold. You can't always control the outcome. You can't always control the narrative, Aries. You just have to play your part. And sometimes your part is just being, just sitting still and allowing things to come to you. Is that so hard, Aries? Why is that so hard, Aries, for you? It's okay to not do anything. It's okay to not initiate. Sometimes not initiating allows things to come to you. It allows people to come to you, or it allows them to figure out whether or not they want to come to you, or it allows them to move away from you, and that's okay. All of those things are okay. You have to be okay with all of those things. You have to understand that no amount of action you take can change certain outcomes. Okay, like you just have to be okay with letting things be, Aries. You know. And there's beauty in that. There's such beauty in being okay with letting things be, being okay with letting people go, being okay with letting people decide whether or not they're right for you or you're right for them. Being okay with letting people come to you, Aries. Like it's all okay. It's all a part of life. It's all a part of the process, okay? Life is more powerful than you, Aries. Okay? You're a powerful being. You're a powerful zodiac sign. But life, the universe, nature, spirit, God, you whoever you think or believe is more powerful than you and is more powerful than I. All right. So thank you for listening and watching. I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Lamarr Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamarr Townsend Official. You can also follow me on SoundCloud and Google Plus. And I would love to do a reading for you. And I'll catch you guys next time, my Aries. Alright? You guys are awesome. Keep being fiery. And remember, it's okay to be. Alright? And life is more powerful than we are. Peace out, people.